Welcome to Whole Lotta Whimsy's Photopolymer Plate Tutorial. My name is Tanya Davidson. To get started, print out your original clip art or sketch your drawing on vellum. If you are doing words, print them out in reverse or mirrored. Take this original or vellum sketch to your local print store and ask them to make a copy in black and white on transparency. Cut off the excess transparency and cut off a duplicate thermal negative film. This will be referred to throughout the tutorial as TNF. Make sure you only expose the thermal negative film in a room lit with fluorescents. Halogens and daylight lamps can begin to cure the TNF, and photopolymer plates or PPPs. The equipment needed for exposure is a UV light source. Here we have a 9-watt UV lamp available at Whole Lotta Whimsy. This works great for PPPs, TNFs, magic gloss, UV resin, UV glue, and more. You'll also need 2 pieces of glass or 1 piece of glass with 1 piece of hardboard like masonite. You'll also need 1 piece of bubble wrap or foam from the office store and 4 bullnose clips from the office store. To prepare your glass sandwich for exposure, here are the steps. On the bottom is your hardboard like masonite or 1 piece of glass, then a piece of your bubble wrap. Next is your TNF. Make sure you scratch a corner to assure that you have the film side facing up. Next is your transparency with the words, and you want the words facing up so you can read them. Lastly is your piece of clean glass, and you secure it with your 4 bull nose clips. This makes sure that it compresses the letters up against the TNF so that no light will shine through below it for the curing. Now it's time to expose your TNF. Place inside the UV lamp. I like to cover this with a washcloth so that my eyes are not tempted to view the light. Set the timer for 1 minute and 40 seconds and turn on your UV light. After the timer goes off, turn off lamp and remove the TNF from the glass sandwich. Now that it's done developing, I'm going to turn it off and remove it. Take off your bullnose clips. Put your transparency away for storage. And set aside all of your materials so that we can use the developer. The next step is to remove the uncured areas on the TNF. To do this, we are going to place it in a white tray. This allows you to see whether you have removed all of the uncured film. Step 1 is to spray the TNF with developer spray generously and let it sit for 1 minute 30 seconds. And we set our timer. Step 2, using a soft cotton square, rub film to remove black film. If after rubbing there are still areas that aren't clear, spray developer and let sit for another 10 to 15 seconds and rub again. Step 3, once it looks good, then rinse under water as soon as possible. Step 4, dry thoroughly or use dehydrator on low or blow dryer to speed up the drying process. Once this is dry, we are ready to develop our photopolymer plate or PPPs. Now you're ready to develop your PPP. Step 1, remove plastic coating from PPP. Begin making your glass sandwich. So you have your base, your bubble wrap, your PPP, your thermal negative film or TNF face down with the words backwards, and your clean piece of glass on top. Now you're going to secure this with your bullnose clips. Now we're going to stick this inside the UV lamp for 1 minute. Set your timer. When it's finished, turn off the lamp and turn off the timer. Now that the timer has gone off, we've turned off the lamp and removed our glass sandwich. Step 6 is to remove the glass sandwich and put your TNF in a safe storage space. So I'm going to put this in an envelope marked TNF. That way, if I need to use it again, I'll know exactly where I put it. So now we've got our exposed photopolymer plate. The UV light has hardened all of the areas that were clear, and all the areas that were black are now going to be washed away. So now we're going to use our water, or you can do this under the sink, and we're going to use, I like to use the Black & Decker tile scrubber because it does all the work and it makes it much easier in the beginning. Then halfway through, I'll switch to a nail brush. You want to make sure that you switch directions frequently. Check for stickiness, which means the film that was not cured still needs to be scrubbed away. Once you're finished scrubbing your PPPs, rinse these bristles with alcohol. Otherwise, they will harden and become very stiff, and then the next time you want to use them, they'll scratch your next plate. But if you use alcohol at the end of this process to make sure they're clean, they'll be good and ready for the next time you're going to wash out a PPP plate. So let's turn this on and get started. There will be some bubbles, and that's normal. But I'm not using soap or anything, that's the PPP washing away. Now I'm going to switch to the nail brush, and I'm going to scrub one direction, and then I'm going to switch and scrub the other direction. Now you may have noticed that when I did my transparency or my original print, I put a border on it. I put the border on 1/4 of an inch past where I really want to cut my clay, and I did this just as a reminder to myself on how big I need to roll out the clay, and then that I know that I'll need to cut it with inside that border. Keep in mind these things when you print out your original so that you do either put a border on or leave it off, as it will affect the way that your clay rolls out. Continue to scrub it. You can feel it. It feels sticky and glossy in the areas that still need to be removed. So continue to scrub it out until you've removed all of those areas. Now we want to dry this, and you'll dry it with a blow dryer, dehydrator, or air dry it. Now that your plate is completely dry, it should look like this. Now we're going to place it back in the UV lamp for 1 minute for a post-cure. So we've got our timer set for 1 minute. Now we're going to stick it in here. You can cover it if you wish so that you don't have to look at it. Turn on the lamp. Once it's on, turn on your timer and wait for 1 minute. Now you are ready to use your photopolymer plate. Don't forget to use a badger brush and badger balm to make sure it is set up to release the clay. So you want to come in and coat that really good. Go in all directions. Get in all the letters. And I do this also with rubber sheets. Anything that's going to need release. I find, especially with letters, it works best to roll out the clay to the desired thickness and press it onto the plate. Here is how my press works. I line up cards that are equal to the plate's thickness and then add cards or slats for the clay that I want to roll it out. So my clay is already rolled out to, say, 3 cards thick, and it's a perfect slab. So then I add 3 more cards on top of the cards that were the same thickness as the plate. Then I'm going to put my clay on top of my photopolymer plate. I'm going to put the Teflon on top of it, and I'm going to take a clear coil roller and set that on top. Then I'm going to press firmly over all of the areas. The cards are going to make sure that I don't press the clay any flatter than the 3 cards that I desire, or 4 cards or 5, however many you want to put on. Then you remove everything. The reason why you don't roll is with words, when you start to roll, you get hazing or ghosting of your letters. And this is the way that I do my press. You, of course, can roll it out any way that you'd like. This is just a suggestion. Enjoy making these great custom plates for metal clay, polymer clay, and ceramic clay, and more.